Word, it is my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of your favorite news program, Sunday Newswatch. We have on our lineup, as always, news from the state, national and international scene. To cap it off is our social diary program, Tag People and Event, with Adibola Oshomoji. Hello, Adibola. Happy International Women's Day to you.
Hi, Semiat. Happy International Women's Day to you and our viewers. Second segment of the news, People and Event, promises to be interesting. To join me later, I am Adibola Oshomoji. I'll be back.
And I am Simiat Abaru. I'll be back after this break. Bravery is acknowledging your fear and doing it anyway. You can watch us live on Facebook at Ogun TV and Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple and Google Play stores. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has called for stronger collaboration between government and religious leaders to address societal challenges such as declining moral values, social tension, and economic pressures. Governor Abiodun made the call during a special iftar with Muslim faithful from Remoland held at Ikperu in Ikene local government area. Governor Service correspondent Yusuf Ganiye report.
The holy month of Ramadan is a period of spiritual reflection, renewal of faith, and renewed commitment to compassion, humility, and obedience to the will of God. Governor Dapo Abiodun says this season offers an opportunity for individuals and communities to strengthen moral values and promote peaceful coexistence. The special iftar organized by the governor brings together people from the Remo axis, comprising Ikene, Remo North, and Shagamu local government areas to celebrate the spirit of brotherhood, generosity, and spiritual renewal inspired by Ramadan. Governor Abiodun notes that faith-based communities have a critical role in restoring ethical consciousness through teachings that promote integrity, responsibility, and respect for human dignity.
Spiritual devotion and public service can go hand in hand. We are guided by the principles of compassion, justice, commitment to the common good of all Nigerians. It is noteworthy that President Tinubu's enduring commitment to fostering harmony among Nigeria's many ethnic and religious communities is a priority to him.
The governor also commends President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for what he describes as significant strides in governance, noting that the president's public service reflects a deep appreciation for faith, diversity, and national unity.
Across the Muslim world, believers must increase acts of charity, support the poor, and of course the vulnerable, feed the hungry, care for the widows, support orphans, and extend kindness to even your neighbors.
In a lecture at the event, the guest speaker reminds Muslims of the need to remain compassionate and generous, especially during the holy month of Ramadan.
Those of you who believe in God, I have made fasting obligatory upon you as I made it obligatory for those people who came before you. So we are not the only one who are fasting. So that we can learn how to discipline ourselves.
Governor Abiodun later assured the people of Remoland that the special iftar gathering will become a regular event. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Islamic clerics have emphasized the need for humility and tolerance among leaders, saying such virtues are essential for successful governance. They made the submission at the annual Family Ramadan Lecture and Tafsir organized by the Ogun State Deputy Governor Engineer Noimo Salako Yedele in Ota, Ogun State. Elizabeth Esson reports that the event held at the Ota Recreation Club Field in GRA attracted clerics, Islamic groups, and political associates from within and outside Awuri land.
The Family Ramadan Lecture and Tafsir is an annual religious gathering held during the Ramadan period to bring together Islamic scholars, clerics, and faithful in Awuri land for spiritual reflection and guidance from the teachings of the Quran. This year's lecture, organized by the Ogun State Deputy Governor Engineer Noimo Salako Yedele, is titled Leadership and Followership in Islam, Lessons from the Life of Prophet Muhammad. dignitaries who attended the event commended the initiative of the Deputy Governor, describing it as a godly approach to community development and responsible leadership. They noted that the annual gathering provides an avenue for spiritual growth and unity among Muslims in Awori land and beyond. Appreciating the clerics and faithful who join the Salako family every year during the holy month of Ramadan, the Deputy Governor calls for unity and a shared sense of purpose among the various Awori clans.
The initiative for this lecture was one that came out to draw all of us in the community together and give us an opportunity once a year to come together for association and for felicitation with ourselves. And this program is one that is particularly important to me because this is one that is done by our people for our people. It's not a state program, it's not an official program. This is a program that was conceived by us Aworis, for us Aworis, and for the benefit of our ulama and our people.
The gathering also features special prayers for Nigeria, Ogun State, Ota, and the entire Awori land. Elizabeth Eson, OGTV News.
The senator representing Ogun Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Senator Shuaib Afolabi Salisu, has called on Nigerians to use the current fasting period as a time for reflection, unity, and renewed commitment to God, irrespective of religious differences. Senator Salisu made the call during an Iftar and Ramadan lecture organized as part of activities to support Muslims observing the holy month of Ramadan. Bumi Adigun completes this story.
The Iftar and Ramadan lecture attracted prominent Muslim clerics in Egbaland, political leaders, members of All Progressives Congress, as well as constituents from across the Ogun Central Senatorial District. Chairman of the All Progressives Congress and the state, Alhaji Yemi Sanusi, and Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Oludaisi Elemide, were also in attendance. The guest lecturer, Sheikh Abdulatif, popularly known as Yasatar, delivered a brief but impactful message, reminding political leaders and the congregation of the importance of righteousness, accountability, and the fear of God, especially as they aspire to positions of authority.
láàrin few minutes wọ́n náà tó báyìí máa wà ní tẹ̀yìn tẹ̀sí jòkó mẹ́ láti tó ti bẹ́ẹ̀ níwájú ọlọ́run tó ń jókòó láàrin ọlọ́run jókòó láàrin ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́ta yóò fi ọjọ́ kan ìyàgbé ilé ìlú oúnjẹ ẹ̀yin jẹ́ wá ti ń jókòó bọ̀ látijọ́ ìfẹ́ tó máa jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ títí wájú ọlọ́run wọ́n kú bí kálukú ṣe máa yọ okùn yẹn kúrò lọ́rùn ara ẹ̀ tí ó fi wà lẹ́nu ìfẹ́ ọjọ́ lọ́sọ̀tò hàn lọ́dún.
The chief imam of Egbaland, Sheikh Sadella Bangbola, later led special prayers for Ogun Central Senatorial District, Ogun State, and Nigeria as a whole, and also for the wife of the convener, whose birthday falls same day with the Iftar and Ramadan lecture.
As you see down now, those of you in government, you have two angels documenting your deeds. We have Rakib writing the good deeds, and then we have the Atif writing the bad deeds. On the day of resurrection, the book of record will be brought.
The convener of the Iftar and Ramadan lecture, Senator Shuaib Afolabi Salisu, appreciated the large turnout despite the short notice, urging the people to always think positively and work for the progress of the state and the nation.
It's also to let us have the empathy for those who are vulnerable in the society. The lengthy period Christian brethren are fasting. Ramadan is a fasting period for the Muslims. So the same way we feel the pangs of hunger, those who do not have, they feel this pangs 365 days a year. Therefore, this period should also make us be more empathic to those who do not have. And today, the clergy have gathered, and I think the key message is a reminder to us that lengthy period will go, Ramadan fast will go, but the need to be deedful to our Creator and to our constituents will always be there. And as we count the days of our being in the office, so also the days of our reckoning with our Creator will be near.
Muslims were later led to break their fast immediately after the program. Participants commended the senator for the initiative, describing it as a platform that promotes unity,
spiritual growth, and closer interaction with the people he represents at the Red Chamber. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, Ogun State Council, has held its 2026 annual Ramadan lecture, highlighting the role of Islamic principles in promoting economic growth and national development. The event brought together Islamic scholars, community leaders, and Muslim faithful to reflect on the relevance of Islam in addressing contemporary socio-economic challenges. Testimony Komolafe report.
The annual Ramadan lecture, organized by the Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, provided a platform for spiritual reflection and discussions on national development. Delivering the welcome address, the acting state council chairman of the society in Ogun State, Olaleko Shogbade, welcomed guests and commended past leaders for initiating the society's state secretariat project. He also announced plans for the foundation laying of the Ansarudin Central Mosque and appealed for continued support towards the completion of ongoing projects.
I am happy to inform this noble gathering that an humble servant of Allah had embarked in the construction of Ansarudin Central Mosque within the Secretariat complex, and the foundation ceremony will be performed today.
In his opening remarks, the chairman of the day, Afolabi Salisu, described the lecture theme, the roles of Islam in economic growth and national development, as timely considering the current socio-economic challenges facing the country. He urged Nigerians, particularly Muslim faithful, to uphold Islamic values of integrity, transparency, and social responsibility as a pathway to national prosperity.
Extremely very important, particularly given the fact that we are a country of people who believe in God. We may have different paths, we may have different modes of worship, but as a rule, generally Nigerians are people who believe in God. And therefore, to that extent, you could see that the moral situation of religion is sometimes stronger than the force of law.
Delivering the main lecture, Akoni Aimod Ejalonibu highlighted the importance of Islamic principles such as honesty, accountability, and diligence in economic growth and national development. The program also featured goodwill messages, special prayers, and the foundation laying ceremony for the proposed mosque, aimed at strengthening the faith of members and encouraging them to remain ambassadors of peace in their community.
The role of Muslim organization in strengthening peace in society cannot be overemphasized. As you see, Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, they ensure that within the Muslim fold, they ensure that there is peace and tranquility. They establish several schools, establish organization up to having a university.
Being a member of Ansarudin since childhood, and one thing I learned in Islam is moral, decent dressing, and knowledge.
The event concluded with prayers for peace, unity, and economic stability in Nigeria. Testimony Komolafe, OGTV News.
Members of the women's wing of the West to State Movement for Yayi 2026 have organized their third Ramadan lecture in honor of Senator Solomon Olamileko Adiola, popularly known as Yayi. The lecture focused on the theme Women's Empowerment. The guest speaker, Sheikh Abubakar, urged women to acquire skills, pursue education, and support initiatives that promote self-reliance and financial independence. In Kim Agu report.
The event held in Ogun West brought together women groups, political supporters, religious leaders, and community stakeholders to reflect on the importance of empowering women socially, economically, and politically. In our welcome address, the convener, West to State's Women's Wing, Adebisi Olaoton, noted that the Ramadan lecture series is aimed at promoting moral values while encouraging women to take active roles in leadership and community development.
I want to first of all thank our president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for being an exemplary leader, a leader that that will do something, and you will know that whatever he's doing, he wants you to take a cue from it and do the same thing. He's been running the country effectively. Although some of us might not see it now, but for the very educated ones, we know what is going on underneath. The economy of this country has changed tremendously. Nigeria used to be indebted to a lot of countries, but as we speak to you, we are financially stable to a very good extent.
Delivering the lecture, the guest speaker, Sheikh Abubakar Ojibara, emphasizes that women empowerment remains a key factor in national development.
Your contribution to your society is very, very important. That is why I said in the heading of my lecture that if a wound might not be your fault, but the healing is your responsibility. We can do it together by supporting each other, by starting lucrative business here and there. So we can. So if you are supporting your own family, I'm supporting my own family. No family will become a nuisance. So if we can do that, we will be supporting the government, and we'll be supporting our society, and we'll be supporting ourselves as well.
Invited guests appreciate the women for their support and commitment, stressing that empowering women leads to stronger families and communities. They also encourage women to continue participating actively in governance and development efforts.
The guest lecturer has said it all. We have to empower our women, our daughters, then our women. We empower their reasoning faculty. We empower their palms, and then we empower their hearts.
Highlights of the program included prayers for peace and a call for unity among supporters ahead of the 2026 political activities. In Kem Agu, OGTV News.
Women's health, empowerment and gender equality have been highlighted as critical factors in building a progressive and inclusive society. These form the focus of an event organized in Abeokuta by members of the Sustainable Development Goals Community Development Service Group to commemorate this year's International Women's Day. Our correspondent, Testimony Komolafe, reports.
International Women's Day is globally recognized as a platform to celebrate the achievements of women and advocate greater gender equality. Against this backdrop, members of the SDGCDS group organized a program at the African Church Hall, Ita Iyalode, Abeokuta, bringing together women, youth, and core members to promote gender equality and improved health awareness. The Abeokuta North NYC Local Government Inspector, Mrs. Pedro Messi, commended the SDGCDS group for the initiative, noting that such programs strengthens advocacy for sustainable development.
We are here to set the tone for a future where every woman's potential is not just recognized, but fully realized. International Women's Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It is a day to look back with gratitude at the giants whose shoulders we stand.
Her Royal Majesty, Olori Adijat Bamdele Matemilola, wife of the Olowu of Owu, encouraged women to remain resilient and proactive in their personal development and contributions to society.
The International Women's Day, like in the Owu community, our KBS is very passionate about women and children. So we've been doing a lot of things for the upliftment of the women in the community. Advice for women is that they should not be lazy. Any opportunity they see, they should make good use of it.
The guest speaker, Dr. Lizzie Adeboyejo, founder of the Ashani and Aduke Foundation, challenged women to recognize their inherent worth as pillars of societal growth.
It means a lot because I'm a woman, born by a woman, given birth to a woman, friends of women, and of course, it is my entire life. It is in totality, is my entire life. And I'm so happy that there is a day that is set aside internationally to celebrate women. And not just women, but women in the real essence of being a woman.
Also speaking, Mrs. Busayo Eneade highlighted professional skill acquisition as a pathway to economic independence for women. A health talk by Nurse Taiwo Elizabeth further reminded participants that health is wealth, stressing the importance of healthy lifestyle choices.
Do you have any family member that is hypertensive? Do you have family member that is diabetic in nature?
event also featured the presentation of awards to guest speakers and a group photograph section to mark the celebration of International Women's Day. Testimony Komlafe, OGTV News.
The wife of the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State and chairperson of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, Ogun Command, Mrs. Olubusola Lanre Ogunlowo, has unveiled a book aimed at strengthening and nurturing marriages. The book, titled Marriage as a Living Thing, highlights practical insight and guidance on building healthy and enduring marital relationships. Bumi Adigun was at the police headquarters, Liwero, venue of the unveiling, and now reports.
Marriage is considered one of the oldest human institutions, and with the many challenges surrounding the sacred vows, there is a growing need for guidance to help couples build and sustain healthy honor. This is what the wife of the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, Mrs. Olubusola Lanre Ogunlowo, seeks to address as she unveils a book for the benefit of couples and families.
Marriage has the specification. You have to tailor it to your own individual need. You know, you can't look at somebody's marriage and say that, oh, you want your own marriage to be. Of course, you can say you want your own marriage if it's good, but you can't say that. You can't try to change your husband or your wife to somebody that you're saying because they're different types. So I want us to know that marriage is about individuality.
The Olowo of Owu, Oba Engineer Saka Adelola Matebilola, comments the idea behind the book, noting that the publication is a necessary guide for both long-standing marriages and newly wedded couples.
So when you have an intellectual living security body, then you know that and that person will demonstrate to you not only in words but in action, but it's not by brute force. But with intellect, with strategy, with knowledge, with analysis, you can tackle all these security issues without to resort to force.
Other guests who attended the unveiling also recommend the book for everyone that desires growth, stability, and deeper understanding in marriage.
I thought I'm so simple. But when the first day I met CP, I knew fully well that CP is even more simpler than me. Because you cannot see him and say this is a commissioner of police. He brings himself so low, he meets with people, he talks with people. And I want to thank you for the peace that we're enjoying in the state on behalf of the governor.
But from the concept of what the book is all about, it's all about marriage and family. And there's nothing as good as that. And you can see that even the Commissioner of Police. He's successful because he has a wonderful wife.
She has brought a lot of innovation, a lot of development, physical and mental development. She has been to so many areas, the prisons, the schools and everything. She has touched almost everywhere.
So the first person I'm going to rescue is going to be my wife. Because she was with me before we started the journey, before we started having children, okay? And it's in the Bible, husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And Jesus died for the church.
The Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, Lanre Ogunlowo, also praised his wife for the initiative, describing the author's efforts as a commendable contribution to strengthening families and the society.
The author has done a bit to just let us know that irrespective of situation, irrespective of circumstances, husband and wife should continue to strive to keep the family together.
The unveiling, held at the police headquarters, Iliwero in Abeokuta, attracted dignitaries, members of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, and other well-wishers who described the book as a valuable resource for nurturing stronger marriages and homes. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The first female Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Madenyi, has been commended for her resilience, commitment to national development and dedication to empowering the girl child. This comes to before at a 3-in-1 event marking her 61st birthday, the launch of her book, and unveiling of the Oluwoloye Foundation for Empowerment and Education. Elizabeth Hesson reports that the event attracts notable personalities from the civil service, business and political circles. Her report.
The gathering is not just about the celebration, but an intellectual engagement and an opportunity to lay a foundation of hope for the less privileged in the society. For the first female Accountant General of the Federation, now retired, gender is not a barrier to success. She says determination and strong will remain the driving forces for excellence.
I ensure that I studied hard, and I ensure that I understood the environment. I also give myself a yardstick that, look, I will face this job with integrity. I will be transparent and I will be accountable, and that worked for me.
As part of the celebration, the Olowo Oloye Foundation for Empowerment and Education is launched as a platform to give back to the society and support vulnerable groups.
Today is just a crystal ball. She's been doing it for quite some time, and Ekperu has been feeling the effect of the foundation.
Though retired from public service, Dr. Madden believes she can still contribute professionally to national development. This she expresses through the public presentation of her book titled Beyond the Ledger, Journey in Public Finance and Governance. The book is reviewed by the former head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemieson.
They have documented an important institutional memory of Nigeria's public service experience. One that will guide future scholars, policymakers, inspire public servants, and enrich national conversations on transparency, accountability, and responsible fiscal management.
The father of the day and former governor of Ogun State is among dignitaries who speak glowingly about the celebrants.
I will try my best to talk with the government of today that we should find a way of using our talent and our achievements.
Of publication, but also a celebration of knowledge, professionalism, and commitment to sound financial management.
That you are going beyond ledger after retirement, and you are using instruments of your foundation to support manhood and womanhood.
The core professional is somebody that you can be proud of, that is from your area any day.
Chairman of the organizing committee, Dr. Jokesho Fowora, alongside one of our mentees, says Dr. Madden has broken barriers and set new standards as the first female Accountant General of the Federation.
Her tenure was marked by professionalism, courage, and a steadfast commitment to service.
They are thriving in family and thriving and being a trailblazer in the society. I mean, that's commendable, and I'm really, really inspired by her.
Her husband describes her as a wife and a million, pledging continued support for her aspirations.
She's not like like some women that will allow their achievements to get into their head and start misbehaving.
The event also features presentations from groups and friends, after which the birthday cake is cut amid cheers and admiration from guests. Elizabeth Son, OGTV News.
The Bubiade lineage of the Jadira royal family in Ijebu has called for recognition of what it's described as its customary right in the selection of the next Awujale. At a press conference, the Olori Ebi of the Bubiade family, Alhaji Olaide Yusuf Bushara, said historical records show the descendants of Bubiade as the first child of Oba Jadira and have never occupied the throne. Our reporter Margaret Ignola has the details.
Speaking at the press briefing was the head of the family of Bubiade, Alhaji Olaide Yusuf, who spoke on behalf of the Bubiade family in Ijebu-Ode, says the ongoing discussions surrounding the selection of a new Awujale present an opportunity to restore what he described as historical and customary balance within the Jadiara royal family. Alhaji Olaide Yusuf explained that Oba Jadiara, one of the past Awujales of Ijebu-Ode, had children, including Bubiade, the first child, and Fushenbua, the last child, whose son was Tunwashe. According to him, Historical records show that successive Awujales emerging from the Jadiara lineage have come from the Fushengbua and Tunwashe branches.
The kinship within the Jadiara stock was repeatedly circulated between the descendants of Fushengbua and his son Tunwashe. Bubiade is the first child of Jadiara. The descendants of Bubiade are eligible princes of the royal lineage.
The Bubiade lineage also raised constitutional concerns, citing Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution, which prohibits discrimination based on birth or circumstances of birth.
Section 42(1) provides that no citizen shall be subjected to discrimination of the basis of birth or circumstances of birth. Section 42(1) provides that no citizen shall be subjected to discrimination on the basis of birth or circumstances of birth. To exclude the descendants of Bubiade, legitimate descendants of Jadiara, simply because their lineage has not previously produced a king, amounts to discrimination based on lineage and birth.
According to the family, any interpretation of the Ogun State chief's law that excludes the descendants of Bubiade from consideration would conflict with constitutional provisions guaranteeing equality. The family further emphasizes that Yoruba traditional kingship is guided by principles of equality among royal lineages, rotational justice among branches of the royal family, and protection of historical customs.
The vacuum surrounding the selection of the Awujale has arisen because the other branches have refused to concede the rightful opportunity to the Bubiade lineage in accordance with the tradition and custom. The descendants of Fushengbua, Jadiara, and Tunwashe must recognize that fairness with a royal lineage requires respect for equity among the children of the same ancestor. A lineage that has never been given the opportunity now faces competition from lineages that have already had repeated opportunities over centuries. Justice demands that customary balance must be restored.
With previous efforts to stamp this fact backed by a publication in Concord newspaper on 29th of June, 1983. The family maintained that recognizing the Bubiade descendants by giving priority to the 8 candidates presented by Bubiade family would not amount to a departure from tradition, but a restoration of fairness within the royal lineage. Margaret Okunwola, OGTV News.
The Inspector General of Police, Olatuju Diso, has approved the appointment of Deputy Commissioner of Police, Anthony Placid, as the new Force Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force. Placid replaces the outgoing Force Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Hundeyin. This was announced in a statement issued by Hundeyin, who signed as the outgoing spokesperson at the Force headquarters in Abuja. According to the statement, Placid is a seasoned police officer with an extensive experience in administration, operations, intelligence, training, and international peacekeeping. NDLEA operatives have destroyed 1,910.25 kilograms of skunk on 2 farms in Igbisi Forest in Ohuwande local government area of Edo State, where 2 suspects, aka London 48 and Austin Isuzu 49, were arrested. Another suspect, Alaba Adeboye 47, was apprehended in Akin Town, Owan East local government area, with 1,760 kilograms of skunk. According to a statement released by the NDLEA spokesperson, Femi Obafemi, he said its commands across the country also continued the war against drug abuse and enlightenment campaign in schools and communities, including sensitization programs in secondary schools in Oyo, Niger, Zamfara, Lagos, Sokoto, Ebonyi, and Anambra State. The NDLEA Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Mohammed Buba Marwa, commended officers of the Lagos, FCT, Kano, Niger, Kogi, Edo, Ogun, Delta, and Adamawa commands for the arrest and seizures, urging them to sustain the agency's balanced approach to drug control efforts nationwide. And with that report, we've come to the end of the first segment of Sunday Newswatch. Now time to join Adibola Shamaji on People and Event. Please stay with us.
This party started, oh yeah. Let's get this party started, oh yeah. This station don't be frustrated, oh yeah. Let's get this party started, oh yeah.